Punctuation 2 grammar video. This section of your grammar book talks about some of the poor mule children punctuation marks, if you will, the ones that don't get used very often but really ought to be because they're a lot of fun. You have discussions on colons, on semicolons, on dashes, hyphens, parentheses, all that kind of stuff. Dashes, incidentally, are some of my favorite. You may see me using them probably a little bit more than I ought to because I think dashes are really fun. I think they add emphasis to things. This kind of stuff, by the way, with colons, semicolons, dashes, and whatnot, there are some very technical ways to use them that you want to pay attention to, but can often be used really to draw, mostly just to draw attention to things that you want to draw attention to. So they can be used in your creative writing as well. The one that I wanted to draw your attention to is the parentheses. Parentheses are a lot of fun, and they are definitely a great sarcasm tool, really, when you're writing personal essays especially. They can be a lot of fun to insert your opinion into something that would otherwise be a little more formal. But you do want to be careful not to use parenthetical statements too often. Parenthetical statements are what goes in between the parentheses. You'll see that when you read in your book that I have covered with a post-it note. You'll see that when you get into your book, this particular lesson. You want to be careful not to use them too often. They'll talk about how they can make for some really lousy or lame, kind of muddy writing where you just throw random stuff in that doesn't have anything to do with anything, and it helps, it kind of just diverts the point. A little earlier when we were talking about showing versus telling, when you're using parentheses in writing that is meant to be a little bit more expository, or which is meant to be a little bit more just direct and to the point, parentheses can detract from that and can make your writing sound kind of weak. So do be careful with a lot of these new tools that you're discovering, that you experiment with them and try them out, but that you don't get so obsessed with them that they actually just kind of take away from a good solid sentence that begins and ends with a capital letter and period. Never underestimate the power of a good solid sentence. However, your quiz will encourage you to experiment with some of these tools and to do it correctly. So do read the section carefully, and if you have any questions about how to use any of these tools, let me know. The book is actually pretty good in this section. It gives you a lot of really good examples. So if you have any questions beyond what the book has to offer, then let me know. Enjoy this particular section on the extra mule children punctuation marks that you can have fun with.